The story begins from here. The Nanking Massacre, also known as the Rape of Nanjing, was a mass murder and war atrocity that took place in Nanking, the capital of China, during the Second Sino-Japanese War from December 1937 to January 1938. The atrocity was committed by the Imperial Japanese Army, which captured Nanking on December 13, 1937. Over 6 weeks, Japanese soldiers committed numerous war crimes, including RP, looting, arson, and mass murder, resulting in an estimated death toll of 40,000 to 300,000 Chinese civilians and soldiers. The background of the event. The Second Sino-Japanese War began on July 7, 1937. After a dispute between China and Japan over the Marco Polo Bridge incident. The war was fought between the Republic of China and the Empire of Japan and lasted until September 2, 1945. And Japan surrendered to the Allied powers. Nanking is located in eastern China, the capital of the Republic of China and an important cultural and economic center. On December 9, 1937, the Japanese Army captured the city of Suzhou, which was just 25 miles east of Nanking. On December 10, the Chinese government declared Nanking an open city, meaning that it was not to be defended and that the Japanese were not to attack it. However, on December 13, the Japanese army launched a surprise attack on the city. And after 2 days of fighting, they successfully captured it. The brutal massacre. Following the capture of Nanking, the Japanese soldiers began a campaign of terror and violence against the Chinese civilians and soldiers in the city. The atrocities committed during this time were well documented by both Chinese and Western sources. The unreadable numbers of rapes. The most notorious aspect of the Nanking Massacre was the widespread rape of Chinese women by Japanese soldiers. It is estimated that between 20,000 and 80,000 women were raped, and many of them being killed or committing suicide afterward. The deadly murder. Japanese soldiers also committed mass murder of Chinese civilians and prisoners of war, often in public places such as parks and streets. Some were killed by beheading, while others were bayoneted, shot, or buried alive. The looting. Japanese soldiers looted and destroyed Chinese homes, businesses, and cultural institutions, stealing everything from food and clothing to valuable artwork and books. They also set fire to many buildings, causing extensive damage to the city. The Untold medical experimentation. Some Japanese doctors and military personnel performed medical experiments on Chinese prisoners of war, including vivisections and other forms of torture. The opposing resistance. Despite the overwhelming military defeat, some Chinese soldiers continued to resist the Japanese, leading to mass executions and reprisals against the civilian population. So here was the international response. The Nanking Massacre received widespread international attention at the time and continues to be a subject of controversy and debate today. The Chinese government has called for an official apology and reparations from Japan, while some Japanese nationalists deny that the massacre ever took place. In 1995, the Japanese government issued a formal apology for its wartime aggression, including the Nanking Massacre. However, this apology was not universally accepted by the Chinese government and many Chinese citizens. Bringing to a close. The Nanking Massacre was a horrific war crime that resulted in the deaths of tens of thousands of Chinese civilians and soldiers. It remains a painful and controversial part of the history. Japan-China relations and a reminder of the atrocities committed during the Second World War. What do you think about it? Comment your opinion. Thank you.